Good evening, students. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you all are happy and well at your homes during the emergency coronavirus crisis. Okay, and as you all know that we had started our online classes for class 9th and 10th, and the last time we had discussed the chapter, the last chapter we have discussed in class 10 syllabus, that is the sectors in the Indian economy. Okay, so today, now starting our next chapter and the third chapter of political science, that is the gender, religion and caste in politics. Okay, basically as you know that we had completed in 8 chapters of class 10 syllabus, and this is the ninth chapter of our syllabus, that is the third chapter of political science, that is gender, religion and caste in politics. Okay, so let's start our chapter by moving through the major and the important concepts of this chapter. That is, let's introduce you the term, that is the gender, religion and caste in politics. So first of all, we have to understand the meaning of the chapter. The meaning of the chapter is that first of all we have to see the effect or the impact of gender on politics. Then we have to see about the impact of religion on politics. Then on the last we have to see the impact of religion on politics. Okay, so basically we have studied, or the in this chapter we have to study about the three basic concepts of gender, religion and caste in politics. Okay, so let's start our first topic, that is the impact of gender on politics, the effect of gender on politics. Okay, so let's start our first topic, that is gender in politics. Okay, so first of all we have to start and understand the term what is gender. Okay, so basically if we say one thing, that there are two different things attached to women, one is called that is gender and the another one is sex. If we differentiate, sometimes there is a misunderstanding that both terms are similar, but if we differentiate these terms, then we can say that these both terms are not complementary to each other, because both are both have differentiated properties. Okay, so if we classify, if we define sex, then we can say that sex is the biological. If we classify women, and basically if we classify men and women, then then sex is related to the biological part. Okay, and gender is related to the social and the political responsibility of a woman. Okay, so basically that is the difference between the gender and what the gender and sex. Okay, sex is defined as the biological part of the woman. Okay, sex is defined as the biological part of the woman, and basically gender is the term which signify as the social and the political responsibility, social and the gender roles of the social and the political responsibilities of women. Okay, so basically we have to understand all the basic things in the context of these things. Okay, so let's start our first topic, that is gender in politics. As you aware that I told you the meaning of gender and sex. So let's move to the next topic, that is the sexual division of labor. Okay, if we see the condition of women in our country, then we can say that from the earliest time women has suffered many difficulties and hurdles in their lives. Okay, and because we have a patriarchal society, we have basically patriarchal society, so due to that women had not so much importance in a society, and basically due to that we have more importance to father, we have give more importance to father. Okay, so basically in our society, basically women has not so much rights as we are expecting from the women. They have not so much right. Okay, basically they are very differentiate, they were very segregated by the patriarchal society, and basically in our society most of the work are done by most of the work is done by most of the work are completed by or done by the men, and most of the works are done by women, and all the other works of outside were done by mainly of men. Okay, so basically if we have to differentiate the work of male and female, then we can say that male have the responsibility to complete the works of outside home, and woman has the responsibility to complete the works of inner, basically inside home. Okay, you see that basically the work which is completed by women in home, like cooking, cooking, okay, bathing, cooking, and washing, and all the other things. Basically these the take care of the children, the take care of the family, these all works are completed by the woman, and all the other works are completed by, basically the outside work are completed by the male alone. Okay, so basically this is the difference between male and female, and that is known as sexual division of labor between men and women. Okay, so main difference between men and women is that the male have the responsibility to complete the work of outside home, and the female has the responsibility to complete the work of inside home. Okay, so that is the sexual division of labor. Okay, if we see the condition of women in our society, then we can also say one or two more things, that we in our society, women had from the immemorial time, from the ancient time, women has been not any particular rights in our society. Then basically women are agitated in different parts of the world to get political and social rights. So these movements started by the women to gain political and social rights are known as the feminist movement. Okay, feminist movement are those movements which movements are initiated by the women's. Okay, and these movements are aimed at to get the political and the social rights. Okay, because basically at that time women had not so much rights, so due to that they agitated against the monarchical government or the different democratic government to get more political and social rights. Okay, so that process or that movement is known as feminist movement. Okay, and if we consider women in our society, if we take the example, if we see the condition of women in our society, then the condition of women in our society is very bad. Okay, the condition of women is very good in Scandinavian countries. Okay, as you all know, that in Scandinavian countries like in Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Netherlands, these are the countries where the condition of women is very good, and most of the public works are done by the women, and the contribution of women in public life very high in these countries. Okay, so if we compare Scandinavian countries means the countries which are known as Finland, Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, okay, Denmark. These are the Scandinavian countries. Okay, and in these countries, the contribution and the contribution of women are very high in public life with comparison to the Eastern or the Asian nations. Okay, so basically these are the things which mark the difference between Scandinavian countries and Indian society, or in the Asian countries or in Arabic countries. Okay, so basically our women are segregated in number of areas in our society. If we compare the first thing, that is known as on the terms of, if we take the example of literacy rate in India. Basically if we compare the literacy rate of India between male and female, then we have, according to census 2011, women have only, our total literacy rate is 74.01%, in which 65% females are literate, means 35%, till now 35% females are illiterate. So that is our literacy rate. Okay, basically 35% females are backward in terms of education. They are segregated. They are most of the parents are not sending their girl children in schools because they have fear that they don't want to study the girl child. They only study their boy child. Okay, so basically due to that the women are not going to schools in large numbers. Okay, so the literacy rate of women is very low in our country, first of all. The second thing is that we have very low sex ratio in India. Okay, if we compare the Western nations with India, then we have one thing in common, that is if we see the condition of women in terms of sex ratio, then we can say that in our country our sex ratio is very low. Okay, on every 1000 men we have only 940 women. So means 60 women are either they are died by their parents, or either they are not take birth due to some take wrong steps by the parents. So that because the most of the parents have considered as their boy child, not their girl child, so due to that most of the parents have killed their child in their prenatal years. Okay, so due to that these are all the things which have to be discussed. Okay, the second main thing is that the third main thing is that we have discussed two main areas in which women are segregating. That one is we have discussed about the sex ratio and another way literacy rate. The third one is unpaid work. Most of the work done by women are unpaid in their area. Like if we compare the work of women done by home, they are not considered it as paid work, because these works are originally done by women, because all the people or the society think that these works must be completed by women itself. Okay, so after that, basically, as you all know that women have done most of the work are done by most of the work has done by women, and most of the work has done by women in their homes. So due to that, they can't consider this as paid work. So due to that, women are not paid for this work. Okay, this is the third main area in which women are differentiated and women is segregated. Okay, the fourth one thing is that Equal Remuneration Act. They basically, if we compare the women and male work, then there is one more thing, that most of the in most of the fields of work, women don't get equal income with comparison to male. Basically, women get low income with comparison to male, and basically to do the same work, women not get equal income or equal wages according to basically with equal to men. Okay, so that is also the fourth area in which women are segregated. Okay, the fifth main term the fifth main term is that women are also basically in our country. Basically, we have a patriarchal society, and most of in our country, basically, we have also in which there is one more thing, that is that women are also uh, women are also domestically exploited by the different in different societies. Basically, if we compare our society, then we have then we have to see the different examples in which the women are exploited in our society. Okay, so due to that, the government of India passed the Domestic Violence Act in 2005 to uh, punish all the persons who exploited the women in domestical homes. Okay, after that, there is one more concept behind in this in this unit, in this topic, that is known as women's political representation. Okay, if we take the example, if we see the condition of women in politics, then we had take that if we see the condition of women in politics and in political representation, we see that the condition of women in the representation of women in parliament or state legislature is not so much good. Okay, in the last general election, we have only 10 or 15 by difficulty only 10 to 12% representation of women in the legislature. Okay, and basically in the state and central legislature, in parliament and in state legislature, women don't get so much representation. Okay, but if we compare, if we see, women have only representation in the panchayat and the small elections, in which 1/3 seats are reserved for women. Okay, but if we compare the participation of women in Scandinavian countries, then the participation of women in Scandinavian countries in politics is very high. So we have to see that thing, that in India, this thing can be understand by taking the example, that is the the women reservation bill for the representation of the women in parliament. 1/3 reservation of the women in part third, or should be uh, is hanged in the parliament. Okay, so the last thing, basically, so these are the topics which we had to discuss today, and there are two major topics are behind in this chapter, that the effect of religion in politics and effect of caste in politics. Okay, so I hope that you understand all the topics which I taught you, and be happy, be safe, be healthy during your and use this time for the better things and useful things and productive things. Okay, let's take care of yourself and your family also. Bye.